Yeah, excited to kind of be the halfway market. I feel
Yeah.
we're right at the middle. This is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. My name is John Freeman. I oversee our partnerships and business development and sales over here at FreightPOP. And then with me today, I have Austin McLean, who is our director of product. And so we're just going to walk you through a quick kind of slide deck on FreightPOP, help you understand a little bit more about transportation management within the Acumatica ecosystem. And yeah, kind of a little bit of a gear shift from what we just went through. And then Austin's going to run just a quick demo for us in the live site here in just a moment. Please, we're open to any and all questions. Either use the chat. I'm sure Amy's already directed everyone how to use questions, but this will be shared after the call as well if anyone wants it. So without further ado, I'll just kind of jump right in. So FreightPOP, we're a transportation management system. That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But we've kind of created five core pillars, and we consider ourselves to be a five-in-one focused on shippers, right? So not necessarily carriers or 3PLs, but mostly on the shipper side. And we fill a specific critical gap within the Acumatica ecosystem as it relates to shipping and transportation management. So what does that look like? These are our core five pillars, starting with operational planning. That's everything that happens before the shipment, right? So Acumatica, you have all of your sales orders and purchase orders. FreightPOP, and we'll get into the integration later, and you'll see it in a moment in the live site. But um, we are able to pull all of the order information into FreightPOP, and based on the sophistication level of the manufacturer, distributor, retailer, so on and so forth, we're able to essentially automate the entire process of shipping and take it down from what we've fondly called FreightPOP, a one-click shipping platform, to honestly a no-click shipping platform, and then just manage by exception, right? And so the automation depth that we have before the shipment to be able to make sure that everything is kind of set and automated is extremely deep. Then you move into the multi-mode TMS, which is probably what most people on this call are already familiar with, right? So that's the rate shopping piece, right? That's the Google flights that we've all understood since Kayak and Expedia kind of introduced us to that concept, right? Making sure that that whatever shipment, whatever mode, whether it be parcel, LTL, full truckload, ocean, air, rail, right? Whatever that shipment is getting there in the shortest amount of time possible and for the lowest amount of cost with the best, potential carrier rating, right? Um, and obviously the creation of labels, making sure that everything's automated and accessorials are chosen. And again, a lot of automation that we'll kind of get into here in just a moment. Then we move into the shipment and order visibility side of things. There's entire SaaS platforms, entire companies similar to FreightPOP that have focused their entire efforts on that shipment and order visibility. FreightPOP already has that simply because we've built all the integrations with the carriers for the tendering on the front side to be able to book and rate shop those shipments. Well, we also have the same. We also have tracking integrations with those carriers as well. And so we're able to pull a comprehensive or pull together a comprehensive look at the entire shipment life cycle, right? For any one of your given shipments across modes. So no matter what mode it is, it's in one screen and organized into one screen. So you're able to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of where everything is at. And then finally moving into invoice audit and freight pay, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's just making sure that the original quote we got from the carrier in the system when we did the rate shop matches what the invoice that they actually send over, right? And so it's just a quick audit. It's a scrub. Make sure that it's within the set variance. If not, we can flag that, send that to accounting for review. If it is, we'll go ahead and create an AP transaction and in Acumatic and roll with it. Freight pay is just one throat to choke. Instead of paying 100 carriers 100 different invoices each month, you just pay FreightPOP one invoice and we'll manage the rest. And then finally, we've built a lot of artificial intelligence into our reporting, our business intelligence module that basically enables our shippers to kind of pull a lot of the data in their shipping process out of individual silos and make really informed, actionable, insightful decisions on it. So let's talk a little bit about who FreightPOP really works well for, right? Within the Acumatica ecosystem, our verticals are really the manufacturers and distributors. We work well with retailers, specifically those doing a lot of, freight shipping, right? And then ultimately, when it comes down to it, a company that has a complex logistics profile is going to be a fit for FreightPOP. If you're just a shipper doing, basic kind of parcel or even high volume parcel and you're just banging out parcel all day long, maybe you're an e-commerce type shipper. That's not necessarily going to be the best fit, right? There's fantastic systems in the Acumatica ecosystem built for that specific type of shipper. Where FreightPOP comes into play is when you've got a manufacturer, for instance, that has a lot of you've got suppliers and vendors overseas shipping inbound to you via ocean container, right? You need to know where that is and where that's tracked. And then you've got the dray process, and maybe you have some LTL and some full truckload, and maybe you have parcel thrown in there as well because you're managing returns and small packages. That's where FreightPOP really shines in the depth of automation and the tools that we've built for that specific type of shipper. And then something else you'll see here at the bottom, 3PLs and asset-heavy customers. We've released functionality recently within the last in 2024 to help customers that have their own fleets, that have their own trucks that they manage. And so we've released functionality around like dock scheduling, route optimization for their specific fleets, as well as yard management, right? So just wanted to kind of touch on and help us understand specifically where FreightPOP fits in, because just as importantly as where we fit is where we don't. And there are other fantastic systems within the Acumatica marketplace that can kind of pick up where we leave off and vice versa. So, talking about the integration, there's two options for an Acumatica customer, right? We have a bilateral standard kind of API push-pull that basically pulls in relevant information from Acumatica that FreightPOP needs to do our thing, right? Think origin, destination, weights, dimensions, product classifications, product information, packaging information, anything that the customer has that relates to their shipment life cycle or process that we're able to pull in. And then we push back information like carrier selection, tracking information, labels, cost, right? That sort of stuff back into Acumatica. And that's our standard bilateral integration where a customer would be using FreightPOP's UI in tandem with their Acumatica ERP. Then we also have a native Acumatica integration where you're actually able to access FreightPOP functionality directly within the Acumatica UI. And that looks a little different, obviously, since it's within the Acumatica UI. But customers have access to not just one or the other, but both. And so some customers end up using both integrations. Different folks within the organization use one, others use another. So just want to make sure that that's aware, you all are aware of that, those integrations and how that works. And then the last slide before I pass it over to Austin to take us into the live site, want to help you understand why we win, right? Why FreightPOP is kind of differentiated specifically within the Acumatica ecosystem. And it's simply because we do have that true multi-mode. You have all of those modes, not only within one platform or one company, but within one screen, dynamically rate shopping against one another, right? And so it really is a true multi-mode. We have our homegrown carrier APIs. Instead of going out and getting those APIs from other systems and leasing them, we went and built those integrations to the carriers one-to-one. So FreightPOP maintains those integrations. So as far as flexibility, as well as, there's no third-party cost baked into to those transactions on the FreightPOP side. We do work globally. We can handle hazmat items, and so a lot of customers have ship hazardous materials, and we're able to handle that. And then extensive automation. And so I'm going to leave it at that extensive automation piece and pass it to Austin, simply because he's going to be able to walk us through what that actually looks like as an Acumatica order comes into FreightPOP.
Alrighty. Thanks, John. So yeah, real quick, I'm going to show very high level what our system looks like it can do. There's keep in mind there's a lot of depth and functionality that can come from this, but I'll try to highlight some pieces as I go through. But here's what we have kind of our order management
Austin,
screens.
there's just a bit of an
You can
echo.
enter your own custom palette,
Like we hear something in the background, or do you hear that too, John?
Yeah. I think we're just hearing background noise, Austin.
Yeah, that's definitely him.
There, is that better?
Yes,
Okay, sorry about that.
that's okay.
I don't know why it didn't pick up my headset. My bad. Alrighty. So let's get this going. Alrighty. So yeah, once as Acumatica would call them, shipments are ready to be shipped. They can be pulled into FreightPOP, and your logistics team can choose to make actions from there. So from here, they can choose to quote all selected. They could ship all selected. They could like to consolidate certain options. They can print packing slips, or picking tickets to help with that process, depending on what their ERP flow looks like. But all that information tends to be pulled over, so it removes the need for duplicate entry. But most of the time, the core of it's going to sit within our quoting and shipping side of things. So user could come in and scan in or type in an order, and it's going to pull back ship from, ship to location information, as well as the products that are shipping on that given pallet. So as you can see, my order came in and I had 10 of these hard drives, and the system dynamically knew that 10 of those hard drives fits into two different pallets with these set DIMs, and automatically calculating the freight class that's needed. I can click in and see what comprises of those inner pieces. If I'm using a dimensioner, it can pull in those dynamically as well. As you can see, it knows that anytime I'm shipping to Disneyland that I need a lift gate, so it's automatically noting that off. And the user can come in and choose to quickly rate shop and hit all of the different carriers that they have connected within their network, so they can see in one screen all the different options of how to best ship that, anything from parcel all the way up to international ocean air, like John said. This is a sample over the road LTL shipment. And so it's going to be pulling back all of those, as well as service days, transit information, and dynamic carrier rating. And so in my demo instance, I have a few hundred different carriers, and most other customers, they have between 5 and 10. But you can see in this case, I've got 21 different options, and I can see everything from the carrier to the cost to if I apply a markup, as well as any of the kind of dynamic carrier rating. If I need to spot this shipment because it's dealing more with a full truckload, I can do that as well. But real quickly, I can come in, choose this service. It's making me say why I'm not selecting the lowest. I can go ahead and hit continue. And now it's going to actually tender that shipment to the carrier, and it's going to generate all the documents that are needed, as well as sending the information back to Acumatica as it relates to the carrier, the service, the cost, and the tracking number, to ensure that that shipment record within Acumatica can be fully closed out. And then from there, users can track all their shipments, look at Power BI embedded analytics platforms, as well as doing some of the invoice auditing as well. We also do connect to the SPS and TrueCommerce EDI providers, so that we can send that information dynamically into those bundles or modules within Acumatica, to ensure that, if you're shipping to end retailers, that you're making sure to stay compliant. So I know it was real high level. John will share more of the information on kind of how to best get in contact with us. We'd love to do more of an hour long kind of demonstration.
Yeah. Yeah. We blew through that really quick. So I'll finish in the next 60 seconds. Ultimately, we just want to touch on we've got a lot of customers, specifically a 400% increase in new Acumatica customers. And it's not because we just had one Acumatica customer in 2023. On average, our customers see a 20 to 40% decrease in their overall shipping costs, which is a top three line item, and 95% less shipment processing time. This is all just, proof. And then finally, we just want you to understand that FreightPOP is that true multi-mode TMS built for Acumatica. Our APIs are one-to-one. And ultimately, our goal is to help our customers grow and our partners win more business. So yeah, appreciate everyone's time here, and hope we didn't blow through that all too fast.